Hey, the Muffin Show here, and today I'm going to be talking about my favorite type of build. And it's been my favorite type of build for quite a while in Super Auto Pets. It is the Sacrifice build. Now, before in these old days, this build was all about the praying mantis and feeding him pets. And you can still run it that way, but ever since the Unicorn Pack came out, this Sacrifice build has gotten a couple of really notable buffs. The one that's probably jumped to your mind already is the Deer Lord, or I just say Wendigo, which obviously has greatly increased the consistency. You can basically force a Sacrifice build every custom game if you want, assuming you've built a pack that is conducive to that. But another pet that's actually really, really strong in Sacrifice builds, and it's one that you may not even realize is in the game, because I don't think anyone's talked about it all ever. It's the Kappa. The Kappa is a pet that when it faints, it summons a 14 attack, 16 health pet from tier 3 for you and your opponent. But if you do a Sacrifice build, you just pill or feed the Kappa to a Wendigo, and it just gives you a 14-16 tier 3. And there are some very good tier 3s. There's Brain Cramp, there's Ox, there's a lot. And as a tier 5 pet, it's insanely strong, and it adds a level of consistency in that you don't have to be having a very good game, but if you run into a Kappa or two in the middle of it, it can help you stabilize as you get the stat generation engine going. Now, tuning into this showcase today, this is not the optimal, it's not the most extreme example of how strong Sacrifice builds can go, but it does showcase a lot of different ideas that I was just beginning to tinker around with. And I'm sure there's a lot of optimization that could go into this, and it's a reason that maybe you're a long-time sacrificial enjoyer like your boy, but even if not, this is a build that there's a lot of flexibility, there's a lot of interesting directions you can go with it. So I strongly recommend you try it out, it's a lot of fun. So we do have the Wendigo start. I've talked about it before, but the Wendigo, a pretty good pet. It's better than the praying mantis. At first I thought they were about the same, but the more I play, the more not having to sacrifice a pet makes up for the fact that it doesn't give as many stats. And the fact that it only gives attack doesn't really matter when you just give the attack to a pet like the ox that we just grabbed. Now here I buy sell the griffin, and even though I have enough gold that I could level up the ox, I want to hold it for turn 7 to get a better options off the level up, and I sacrifice the ghost kitten because I really just want to boost the ox's attack, and I thought it was funny killing the kitten once again. Get a draw here. This game it's turn 7 and we're at 4 hearts still with only 2 wins, so there's been a lot of drawing. So this is where games can start to feel a little stressful, because if you're going to try and get the tin win, that ultimate goal, you have to have a very strong build in the end, because once you get into those later rounds, people start putting together really crazy stuff. But yeah, we've got a basic start, and what a good shop roll, and what a great level up option. So even though the shark was there, I want to get the Kappa. The 14-16 is just lost stats for this point in the game, and there will be more time to level up the shark later on. We do get a flying squirrel off of that, which, considering that we had just gotten our treasure chest off of the griffin, means now we can start getting that reward every 3 turns. So it's kind of like getting 1 gold a turn. Or instead of, 3 gold, you might just get a pet that could work really well with something. So I go ahead and I peel the turtle onto the flying squirrel. I want to try and crank out that chest for all it's worth, and I'm already planning to just feed the other turtle to the Wendigo like you just saw there. Another reason that I'm trying to sacrifice Kappas whenever I see them is right now my ox has a good amount of attack, but only has 5 health, so it's really vulnerable to snipes and things like the vampire bat. Those types of builds are really going to wreck it. But if we sacrifice a Kappa, one of the pets we can get is the ox, which means that we can combine them, and then that ox is going to have 17 health, and it's going to be a lot harder, much more resilient to snipes. And so that's one thing that we're really hoping for. In addition to just being a lot stronger in that combat. Pretty good combat there. We did get kind of lucky that none of those, hardly any of those snipes actually hit our ox. I think if they would have taken out the ox, they might have been able to tie there. But we're cruising. The Kappa, the last one, gave us the griffin, which is actually the only bad hit we could have gotten off of it, because it ruins our treasure chest, because now it's just going to always have the map unless we grab something else that gives us a different toy. So now the flying squirrel is essentially just an 18-16 with melon, and yeah, that kind of sucks, but it's not a big deal. The main thing is we've got the engine with statting up the attack on the ox. We're really scaling the shark. So we've got a good build going. Here I go ahead and grab the beta fish. The reason why I didn't wait till the end is there's a lot of gold to spend, and I really just wanted the extra shop space. And if we hit a pill, this is the point in the game where I would consider moving it and pilling it in front of the Ox, so that the Ox is going into the combat with Melon already to just try and protect it a little bit against snipes. Opponent having a strong level 2 Chimera, which was pretty scary, but our Shark is just so beefy, he just chomps them all up. It's always satisfying beating a Chimera player. Usually it's just through having a Mandrake, but just being able to like go over the top also feels pretty good. Although honestly, Nessie and Vampire Bat are the builds I'm really starting to hate. I've started, since this game, like recent games that I've been playing, I've started just grabbing Mandrake when I see it, grabbing Alligator Snipers, just trying to make my build better against Vampire Bats and to some degree Nessies, but when you do go against a late game Nessie build, they're absurd. And there's nothing you can do in that case. Nessie's an incredibly busted pet. Alright, to 9 wins. Now we just need to be thinking about how are we going to get one more win. Fortunately, we have 4 hearts. We've just done a lot of drawing this game, so we have time to try and set things up. So that's why I'm freezing the anglerfish and the waffles. I'm thinking about what sort of final thing I go into in case I lose this battle. Speaking of Nessie builds being ridiculous, look at this. Look at this absurdity. We actually weren't that far off considering how absurd that build is. They really need to nerf Nessie. But here, my opponent did have Nessie, so if you can't beat him, join him. And here I freeze the Nessies because I really just want to hit. And boom, I hit another one, so now I can get another 2 free Nessies in the shop. I also freeze the oyster. So I understand there's a good chance that I'm not going to win because I didn't get any stronger. But and it's the vampire build. It's the other type of build that's really become annoying playing custom pack. I mean, we're down to 2 hearts, so now is the time. Fortunately, I just spent the last term saying this up. It wouldn't have been really worth going in on the Nessie, considering they wouldn't have had any roll, so it wouldn't have made a difference. But here we can get a level 2 Nessie, and then roll to max out for its 10 rolls. And we should have enough to buy that chocolate. We won't have a level 3 Nessie, but if we lose this upcoming battle, we can get a level 3 Nessie and get like fully stocked up. Here, there's some weird glitch that I don't remember that happening when playing. I think that's just a glitch with a replay feature that I'm recording these videos with. But, I mean, just gets wonky sometimes. Yeah, and with the 40-40 fake Nessie, we're cruising. It's not too hard of a game. We got the build together very early. It's one of the things that makes these builds a lot of fun and very consistent to play. And it carries you through towards the end, and then the last part of the game is just figuring out what sort of thing you need to do to close it out. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.